Salutations, my good friends, and welcome to the
What does that
Speakers
mean?
Island podcast. Salutations basically means hello, Mr. More for Your Money.
Oh, hello.
So, of course, Mr. More for Your Money's on with us tonight.
Woo!
I was going to say woo. He's like those woo girls from How I Met Your Mother who like to go to the club. In
Oh, in a different life, maybe I could be a cheerleader.
I keep telling you, you totally should have applied to be an Argos cheerleader. I think you would have been great. But of course, we have someone who is even more dashing than More for Your Money, and that's Lane Dashing Dashco.
Yeah.
And we have the man who is almost up to 6.0. He
yeah.
has a 5.97.
Look at all his math work behind him. Holy cow. That's all the programming behind him, all he sees is paper.
He does a lot of math. He's really
I know. It's like that TV show for numbers.
Well, for all the listeners out there, we just updated our website. So
yes.
New messaging, new update in the app is coming, but
yes,
exciting things for a lot of sports fans around the corner.
Huge news. Sports fans,
right from the grassroots,
gamers.
Right from the soil, right from the soil.
Exactly, literally. Planting the seeds in the soil and letting the water blossom and bloom to the sunshine.
What did you boys think of that game tonight? I'm going to say it right off the hop. I thought OKC looked tired, which to me is crazy. Like, how are you tired?
They're old.
No, they're not. These are two young teams.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying.
Like, I'm sorry, but like you got outscored 32-18 in the fourth. You deserve to lose.
Maybe the Wallace Fargo wagon was there.
You know you're tired.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I thought
I do know.
Thunder.
The Wallace Fargo wagon was in Gary, Indiana. They had such a fun night with the Wallace Fargo wagon.
That's weird. That could be a thing.
It's from the Music Man. Oh, the Wallace Fargo wagon is coming down the street in Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana, not be easy. Yeah, I know.
I swear some of us are sober on the island tonight.
I am sober.
He doesn't even drink.
I'm drinking milkshake.
So he says. That's probably a White Russian.
But, look in here. See? Look.
We can't see anything that's in there, Dan. It just looks like
why it's all about spelling it on the computer, because that would be bad. I try to dump on an internet modem. Not a good idea.
He did that, by the way. But I thought it was interesting, too. They talked about how the Pacers really were trying to shut down SGA. Now, mind you, a shutdown SGA still puts up 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists.
He had a good game.
But
overall,
Lane, what did you think kind of fell apart for the Thunder? Was it that fourth quarter? Was it the turnovers? Like, what was more the issues here?
I just think it was the effort, like especially in that last 5 minutes. And we're going to show a clip shortly, but there's a clip where in like 5 minutes left to go, and Doris Burke, I didn't realize how big of a play it was, but I got to give credit to ESPN and their footage. Like, I actually wish hockey would do this, how they have an official there and they have like more of an analyst there behind the broadcasters, because they are able to break down certain plays that you don't think are big, but then they kind of go to their replay center and they kind of show you like why it happened. I actually think the way they do this is really incredible. It's good for viewership. That it's especially if you're new to basketball, which I know you and Dan are. I feel like this is really helpful because you're watching the game trying to get to learn it, and they do a good job in the game kind of explaining certain rules, like especially during that technical foul there, why it was and why it was not.
Yeah, exactly.
They really broke that down and explained to everybody at home, like, okay, this is why it should be a technical foul. This is why I think. But then they went to like an official ref who's been in a ref for like 60 years or something. They have like a seniority ref there who kind of goes like, no, you know what, you're wrong. This isn't a technical foul because of A, B, and C. It doesn't meet these criteria. I really like that. And I also like how they have an official replay person too that's able to find the replays, go into the plays when nothing's happening and kind of break down certain plays. But yeah, I think there's a certain play that I think we should take a look at. I say we take a look at it now.
Why not? Said the fireman. I actually found it very helpful. You're right away. I'm a new viewer, and for a new basketball viewer, it was very helpful how they explained it, right?
So this is from ESPN, of course. I want to give them credit. But if you watch, you're going to watch Tyrese Halliburton get the ball. What's going to happen on this play is he's going to be matched up with SGA. They're going to go into the corner. Tyrese Halliburton is going to miss the shot, but we'll play against pretty slowly for everyone to see. So here's Tyrese Halliburton up here. He's going to get down to SGA here. Then he's going to go. He's going to, make his dribble move. He's going to get to the corner here.
Mm-hmm.
He's guarding, doing a good job guarding. And this is where it breaks down. So he makes a
I
bad
remember seeing this, yes.
So he makes a bad shot right here, like on purpose.
Yeah.
But you notice where Tyrese Halliburton is right along the line. And you notice where SGA is sort of towards the borderline of the out of bounds here. Now, this, of course, Burke broke down. And mind you, this is a 3-point game at the time for anyone who doesn't know or can't see the score. This is 100 to 103. So this is not like – this is pretty close with 5 minutes left to go. But this is where you can kind of see the fatigue of the OKC breakdown. Because watch how Halliburton, who's on the line, responds compared to SGA. I'll play it again, but you'll kind of see it here once it loads. But see, he just does nothing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Back, and then he's still like not even responding, but they're able to get a foul there, and they're able to get a good point off that. But there's a good example how SGA, you can really see the fatigue sitting in, at the point of how was Tyrese Halliburton able to turn around quickly, run back, get that ball, and SGA still looks like his controller disconnected.
Now, Mr. Lane, I have a question for you, because you mentioned in that analytics of yours that what's his name? Hagerton? Not Hagerton. What's his name?
Halliburton.
Halliburton. Thank you.
Yeah,
you mentioned that Halliburton took a bad shot. And when I was watching it live, I was thinking that to myself. I'm like, well, that was kind of a stupid shot, but I didn't really know if I knew what I was talking about. Now, my question is, why did he take that shot? Was there a strategy for like a rebound to someone to like dunk it in if someone was there, kind of like in hockey?
This is how you dunk?
And how
yeah. Well, no, that's a layup. Sorry, dunk is like, wham! But anyway.
No, to be honest, Dan, I actually think he did that on purpose, knowing he had the SGA beat. I think he took that shot on purpose. When you look at that positioning, right? So you had Halliburton here and SGA is here. SGA's already turned around. He's not going to make that. So Halliburton takes a bad shot, knowing the coverage, he's not going to make it there. And when you saw that replay, he knows he could quickly do a quick spin around and come back and get that ball to force it to the 3-point line, which ends up getting them that foul there. And I think like that's just like the smarts of Tyrese Halliburton and how impactful in the game he is. He had a really good game, a really good response tonight, over 20 points, over 10 assists. This was a game where he kind of shined at home.
He had a double-double.
Yes, he did. And I just feel like tonight was a game where you really saw the Pacers get back to what they did in game one. They played as a team. They played as a unit. Everyone was doing their job. And Tyrese Halliburton kind of took over tonight in front of the home crowd and kind of made sure they brought it home.
I noticed that the Pacers were really good at passing the ball and working as a unit, versus OKC kind of looked like the superstar play, trying to do the flashy moves, the one moves, like with SGA, for example, right? Then, I saw I forget who did it, I'm sorry, but someone from SGA had a really cool slam dunk. So, I was going to highlight, but any day, but didn't win the game, right? So.
Well, actually, I kind of think this game more came down to turnovers, if anything. OKC had 19 turnovers, postseason high, and free throws. You look at the free throws there, especially in the last minute when you're down and you're missing 3 free throws. When you're down 6 points in under a minute, you're just basically like saying, I don't even want to win this game, and that's something you need your players to just play better, right? Like, I mean, you look, Indiana was better shooting percentage. However, the OKC were better from 3 at 45% from the 3. But
that's
the 19 turnovers from OKC versus 14 turnovers from Indiana, I really think was the difference maker in this game. I just watched it and it was like, I found if there was the worst possible time for OKC to commit a turnover, that's when they did it.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're winning these. I don't think they're going to win this series if they continue to turn the ball over the way they do.
Yeah, right. So. And not only that, Jacob, you look at the points off the turnovers too, right? It's not even the turnovers themselves. It's just what the team's doing. And the Pacers were able to get 21 points off turnovers. OKC was only able to get 14. And even though the turnovers were close, that's still an extra 7 points. You look at this game how short this game could have been if they could have eliminated 7 points or even half that. You're looking at a very closer game than a 9-point game.
Or, I mean, let's say you score a little more off the turnover and you're a little bit better from the line. You might get away with this one, even with your half asleep effort. You might find a way to win. And I have found this series, the Pacers to me look hungrier.
They do, yeah.
Look like they want this more than OKC.
You can tell they're the underdog in the series, for sure.
Oh, they are.
By the way, the Pacers were projected to lose this in 5 going in. That was what most people were saying. And Pacers don't stand a chance. I'm like, well, look, they got here. They can't be that bad. That's what I kept saying to everyone. And at the end of the day, right now, I think they have control in this series.
Oh, for sure.
You win your next game at home, this series is done. I don't see.
Wow.
And a cool stat that I didn't know until they showed it after the game. I didn't know this. The Pacers are 9-0 after a loss. That's crazy.
Wow.
Well, they respond well to losses.
Good for them.
Well, I find it weird that the Pacers were such an underdog when they finished the year 50-32. Like, I guess
a record,
68-14. So, I get it. But it's not like the Pacers are a bad group.
No.
They're a very deep team. And the second quarter, I'm curious about your guys' thoughts on this, especially Chazzy, because he's just been sitting there looking all his thought bubbles on his paper. And I thought where this game was actually really taken over was Indiana outscoring OKC 40-28, and all in the beginning of the second quarter from the bench. I think that's where this game got really taken over.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you look at that, and that is a difference maker. Because you're thinking of Halliburton on the bench, and I believe Siakam was on the bench as well, and it just didn't matter. The Pacers just outpaced OKC, like straight up. To me, you have a guy off the bench put 27 points up for you in the Pacers.
Mathurin, yeah.
Like, yes, thank you. That's huge. It kind of reminds me of the Raptors run. We always heard about playoff Powell. And that's what it felt like for the Pacers. It didn't matter who was going to be out there. They were going to find a way to score. And when you look at the point spread breakdowns too, the quarters that OKC won, they won them, but they were like, you're looking at like a 10-point spread in the first quarter and a 9-point spread in the third. Then you're looking the second when Indiana outscores you by 12. And in the third, and then the fourth, Indiana outscores you by 14. It's just like, it seems to be when the Pacers are taking control, they're finding a way to make bigger impacts.
Now, why was Siakam and Halliburton on the bench? Our favorite
They can't play the whole game.
Oh, I love it.
It's kind of a thing in basketball. They don't play the whole game. They'll I mean, they still play a lot of minutes. Don't get me wrong. They'll probably play like 35 to 40 minutes, but they might be on the bench for like maybe 5-6 minutes at a time.
Because it's only a 48-minute game.
Yeah, but Dan, you're running on your feet versus gliding on skates.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a very big difference. And we have a Lane fan in the chat.
What's up, man?
So Lane seems to be someone that everyone loves to see. He is very dashing. And Streakers is pointing out that Dan gets the Streakers points tonight.
I did. I challenged you guys to a rivalry, and I picked Indiana because I thought we would come back. They had a weak game last game of game 2. They got blown out. Why about going home and everything? Yeah, I think we're going to do well. And I know nothing, I was right.
But I also find interesting, too, you look at the point spread again, and like from some of the top players. Your top point guy from Indiana came off the bench.
Yep.
Right? And Williams from OKC is your top point guy, not SGA. And I wonder with OKC, are we seeing a formula? If you find a way to limit SGA to under 30, you'll probably win. Where I think Indiana, they're more of I think they're a deeper group, and maybe people are going to throw clown books at me. I don't know. But the way I've seen in this series, Indiana seems to be a deeper group.
I agree with you, Tom. It is 100% that way. Like, this is a team that, again, the OKC. No, I'm not saying they're a really good team, but they do heavily rely on SGA to get those 30+ points to get them to those wins, right? And you see the way Indiana won game 1, right? It was a spread out team effort. The way they lost game 2. Well, the bench, the rest of the starters for OKC stepped up and matched the Pacers in the points. And tonight we kind of went back to game 1 again, where it's like the Pacers were spreading up their points, got a lot of points up the bench. I believe they set a record for most points off the bench in the first half in NBA playoff history, which is crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, but just when you have a complete effort like that, and Tyrese Halliburton, who's again, I got to say, very impressed with him tonight, over 20 points, over 10 assists. There's
almost
one play,
a triple double.
Yeah, he was pretty close to that. And I love how his compete level. I don't know if you saw his face during the flagrant foul there, but he was kind of like punching himself in the head a little bit when he missed that shot, because that's just the compete level he's at right now, where he knows even if it's one missed shot with 7 minutes left to go, he's really mad at himself because he thinks we could lose this game if I miss a shot like that. So I liked seeing kind of how composed he was and just being. I liked how when they had him on the mic, he was really with his team, supporting his boys tonight and being like, hey, get over there, do this, get over there, do this. Hey, Siakam, stand here. He's very vocal tonight on the court with his boys tonight.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting too, we've been talking about that and talking about some of the defensive plays from the Pacers. So the Pacers blocked 11 shots versus OKC's 4. And I don't know, maybe you guys can correct me, but 11 blocks seems like a lot of blocks.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
Right?
That's a lot.
And also the Pacers had 24 assists to OKC 16. I think that's just showing that they're spreading the ball around a little bit more.
I think game one.
And steals 13-6 in favor of the Pacers. Right? Wow. You're looking at all these little stats, and how many times do we talk about in hockey, puck possession is so key? It's a stat that even if you're not getting shots and go scoring chances, if you control the puck, you're probably going to win the game. I think NBA games are really won in the trenches when two teams are when you're in the final. And the trenches are your assists, your steals, your blocks, your rebounds, and your free throws.
And turnovers.
OKC only won one out of those stats. They had more rebounds, more offensive rebounds, and more defensive rebounds. So they won the rebound stat. But they were worse at the line, less steals, less blocks, more turnovers. Too many little mistakes that really cost them. And shooting under 50% in total was not, at least I don't think, is good enough for a team like the Pacers. I thought they were taking some really bad shot selections. Even in the last minute, there was a guy who was jumping up for a 3 where he could have made a quick pass, not a guy wide open. Yeah, I get it's under a minute. You're down 6. But come on, man, look for the open shot. Right. Yeah. And don't try to be a hero, make the correct play. And I think the Pacers tonight were making the correct plays, where OKC is just, well, get it to SGA, or in this case, get it to Williams, who had a phenomenal game, but still only 7 for 11 from the line. And I think bare minimum, you got to be shooting 80% from the line.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because it's a free shot, right?
Yeah.
You look at that. If you went 23 for 30 at the line, which is 76.7%. You go 26 for 30 at the line. You get a couple less blocks with some better ball movement, which equals more assists. You might win this game, even though you were a little sleepy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You're right. It really, you don't. It's funny when you look at basketball, the little things when you still really start looking at the numbers, right? Even the blowout win, when when you break down some of the stats there, it's like, well, if you just make a few more free throws, and if you make 5 more free throws and you don't turn the ball over 16 times, it's not a 20-point blowout, right? Like, even though sometimes the score looks bad, like you said, Jacob, it really comes down to these little things, like these blocks, turnovers, steals, rebounds, all these little things, and they add up every time, because even if you make one little mistake, and I think even into that game tonight, I think that mistake at 5:03, just SGA not getting back to that ball, not being responsive, letting the Pacers get that ball back so easily, letting them get a foul, letting them get to the free throw line. Even a little mistake like that at 5:03, I think that costs them.
Well, and it's also too, and I'm going to say this too, we talk about, and Chazzy's going to laugh at me because I'm bringing up the Toronto Maple Leafs during an NBA post-game show. But I'm bringing up the Toronto Maple Leafs at an NBA post-game show. And we talk about the DNA problem in Toronto. Is that a DNA issue in OKC when you're seeing your best player just not attacking for a rebound? I don't care how tired you are. It's the NBA Finals.
It might be due to their that they're so young, right? Like, again, they have never been in this position, and
yeah, but neither is Indiana, besides a Siakam, right?
Yeah, but they're more experienced, right? They've been to the playoffs more, right? Like, True. This is a team that is still trying to find their footing here and it's impressive what
Their
they've done.
footing
Like,
is by their ankles.
I don't know if Trezzy would agree with me, but like, yeah, like this is a team that's pretty young. They're, they haven't had a lot of playoff exposure, and even though they're on this fantastic run and they're doing all the right things, all these extra games that you're playing compared to when you just play an 82 game season, now you're getting into like your 20, 30 games extra here, especially when the OKC have had more. The Pacers have had more people play in the playoffs. You have Siakam, who's been to a finals, who knows the fatigue, who knows how to mentor these guys and be like, pace yourself, do this. We got to stay on this training regimen. He has that experience. When you don't have someone who's been there, you don't have the guidance to tell you, hey, slow your brakes on your off days. Do these on your practice days. Take it 10% less here. And you're seeing the fatigue I think it's scary, the fatigue they showed tonight. They looked really tired.
SGA did log 42 minutes tonight. He logged 44 earlier in the playoffs. So I don't know. And it's a lot, and he also only scored 24. He's usually around mid-30s.
Yeah.
But wasn't SGA one of these guys who says the league's about me now? If you're going to say that, you got to be able to play big minutes and still put up big points.
Yeah, if you're the MVP, right?
I absolutely love SGA. You know what, local boy.
Yeah,
still comes back to Ontario and the Hammer all the time. Like, I give him a lot of credit for that, but he's a guy that I think he's got to find a way in a game like this to step up, right? I think that's just tough, right? But I'm not going to say OKC's out of this series by any means.
No.
So far, the games have gone 1-1, 1-1-1. If OKC can win game 4, it's a best of 3. It's a best of 3, and you got home court back.
I'm kind of chuckling as I hear what Lane's saying. Siakam's the leader to the Pacers. I totally agree with that. I'm just chuckling because it feels like yesterday he was our rookie in the Raptors and he was our young guy in our future, So funny how quick life goes,
I mean, personally, I'm going to say this now. I still wonder if the Raptors kept Siakam with Scotty Barnes and now bringing in a guy like Ingram.
Well, I was just going to say that.
Quickly, the Raptors could be in a very different situation right now if you keep Pascal Siakam.
Yep.
Now, does Siakam
want a real boneheaded decision to trade him, especially a guy that wants to be in Toronto?
I was just going to ask that, yeah.
As
even Anobi
finding players who want to be here.
Yeah.
Even Anobi, he's another player.
Mm-hmm.
You keep both.
I love OG and Anobi.
Didn't both signed for big money?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. They deserve it.
But it's interesting.
That's why it's just tough to keep those teams.
It is.
Oh, for sure.
But it's interesting, too, when you're looking here at just some other statistic. Fast break points, Pacers won that stat 17-10. Points in the paint, 50-48. You can basically call that a wash. But you look at your fast break points and points off turnovers, that's the game.
Yep.
Yeah, literally.
That is literally your game right there. So if you're OKC, you're going to look at those stats and be like, okay, how do we slow down the fast break points? Which I think is trying to figure out how the Pacers are involving the pass game so much more than they are. And you just need to limit the turnovers. You cut your turnovers down in half, you probably win this game. I'm not saying half's an easy thing to do, but Dan, we were even watching it there when turnovers was towards the end of the game. They were just sloppy.
They were 100%, and not just sloppy. I even said to you, Jacob, we were watching them. They didn't have the urgency.
No.
Well, whichever reason, I don't know. There's like 17 seconds left, down by 4. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what are you doing, Blow? Like, get going. Come on. They just keep thinking, we're OKC. We're going to tie up, blah, blah, blah. Whoa, it's like 7 seconds. I've got no time. Hurry up. And even like there's a minute left. I'm like, what are you doing just dancing along? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, just shoot the ball, Blow. Shoot it.
The urgency was bad tonight.
Yeah.
So,
with that.
But like we talk about you thinking maybe the team's too tired. Well, how do you fix that?
Drugs.
You go home, you go back to the hotel and ice.
I don't know. You think, what do you, Chaz? You think they gotta like play SGA less and try to get this bench more involved? Like you just showed us minutes. Like he's over 40 minutes every night. Like if Halliburton can play 37 minutes and get the job done more effective, and you're telling me SGA has to play 43 minutes every night. That's 6 less minutes he's playing, and he's getting
Yeah,
they're
that's a
getting
big
just as
difference.
you don't think about it, right? Like 6 minutes. Yeah, that adds up even after 3 games. It's like 4 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 2 minutes here. They got to find a way around that.
Well,
Yeah,
especially in 12-minute quarter.
you also had Williams miss 3 of 6 free throws down the stretch. Fulgham got blocked with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah,
Like, he blocked Chet, and then that was I think they're down 5 or 7 there. There's a swing right there. So I think that just this team's gonna bounce back. They did have the lead going in the fourth, like we saw in the first. Like, this Indiana team just likes to battle back, and it's never over until that final second. So
yeah, but Chelsea, what does that say about that? Here's a team that everyone's saying should be so far ahead right now, and this is the second time where they've had a lead going into the fourth quarter, right? Like, this isn't it's not like they've been playing from behind. This is a team that's been leading all 3 games going into the fourth quarter, and they've only been able to bring one home. What does that say about this not only this Pacers team not even feeling like they're never out of it, but OKC's an ability to kind of close out these games where they could be up 3-0 right now?
Oh no, absolutely. But there's twofold to that. But this Indiana Pacers, they're hungry for that home finals game tonight. So, and we saw them that they came back. They had the energy. The crowd was in it, and for the fans. But again, these are just 2 dominant teams, and we're seeing Indiana. Like, I don't know, was anyone talking about them at the beginning? But we're seeing the fruits of their momentum and the teams that they've knocked off to get here. And like you just said, they're going against arguably the best team this season and competing with them, and to be up 2-1. I didn't think they'd be up 2-1 after 3 games.
Oh, they're going to be ecstatic.
No one saw that coming.
I don't know. I look at this, though, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me or not. If the Pacers win game 4, I don't see OKC beating the Pacers 3 straight.
I agree.
I don't. I think this Pacers team just works too hard, and I think they have a deeper bench.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I agree with Jacob here.
Smart, Mr. Lane. The comb of destiny.
I get the golden comb.
Oh. I can see a series going 7. I mean, I can speak with Jacob. Indiana is like a true underdog, really hungry, really fighting. But any day, KC has the bigger superstar, and in basketball, the superstar makes a bigger difference.
Not necessarily, though. We're seeing the Pacers are doing it more with depth. If anything, if let's say the Pacers win, are we going to see the NBA changing up a little bit, saying maybe we can win with depth guys versus 3 All-Stars?
And we have a new face of the league, Halliburton.
Yeah.
I mean, then Halliburton, people aren't going to laugh when you're calling him a top 5 point guard anymore.
Right.
Yeah, they were really hammering on that tonight about how many players in the league, that voting percentage where it's 80% thought he was overrated. He's like, yeah, overrate me now.
Well, Lane, weren't you throwing out stats there about he's in elite company this playoffs?
What's up, Logan?
Everyone seems to love Lane.
How can
He's
you
like
not?
LL Cool J. Ladies love Cool J. It's more like ladies love Dashing Dashko. And everyone just loves Lane.
Sorry, what was your question, Chazzy?
No, I see my screens went blank, so I can't really see anything right now. So,
you're asking about how about his playoff stats? Yeah, it's been crazy, right? 6 game winning shots. LeBron James got 8 in his career, and Halliburton already said, it's like I'm a celebrity, apparently.
That's awesome. Yeah, Lane is a celebrity around here. Holy cow, he's a celebrity to the island.
But I know it's crazy what he's been able to do. Every game he's making an impact, and I don't think there will be any question who gets the MVP of the finals if they do win it. Cause it's going to be Tyrese Halliburton. I don't think it's going to be Siakam this time around.
But then we'll Siakam pout.
That's right.
No.
I wanted that MVP trophy. It's bigger.
You get more with it.
Oh, you get more for your
More
money.
with your money.
Right. You get a car back one?
No, it's only Phil Kessel.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can buy a car with the money you get from it.
Yeah, easy.
But it's interesting, next game's Friday, so there's not a heck of a lot of rest between games.
No.
Which I thought OKC looked tired. I really did. I thought they just, which I don't get how are you tired? Like, seriously, go drink a 5-hour energy drink and get on the court. I don't know what to tell you. Like, because you haven't played
Five energy drinks.
You haven't played since the 6th. And today's the 11th. That's no excuse. You shouldn't be tired.
Rhythm. No.
You think
Yeah, but then Chazzy, then why were the Pacers out of rhythm?
They had energy. They fed off that home crowd.
Yeah, but today's 12.
Well, as of now, yeah, but the game finished on the 11th, bud.
Oh, it's midnight. I forgot about that.
Dan has learned during these NBA shows, 3 is a larger number than 2, and after midnight, the day changes.
That's right. On the island, we just don't know the time or day or nothing. We just go.
But do you guys see the OKC winning game 4? Like, do you see them coming back to form?
I would assume so.
Yes.
I'll be shocked if they lose game 4.
Oh,
Pacers are taking a 3-1 series lead. I'm going to call this, and I probably will deserve the clown book. Who knows? Maybe by Friday. But I am going to say this: we're going to see a flip of the script. Pacers in 5. They're the better team right now. They're the better team.
I like
it.
You
have SGA, but we're seeing the same thing with Florida versus Edmonton. You shut down the one guy, well, all of a sudden the team doesn't look so good anymore.
It's kind of true, yeah.
The OKC can't win unless SGA scores a minimum 35.
Seems like it, yeah.
I don't understand. I would love to look back at the stats and look at their wins and see how many wins they got when SGA scored less than 35. Because from what I've watched in these playoffs, if he doesn't score 35, win go bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Even let's go back to game 2. How many points did SGA have? Pretty sure it was upwards towards 35.
Yep. I think it was 38, I believe.
34. Game 1 was 38 and then 34 in game 2.
But Lane, you made Logan's night.
Right on.
Yay.
But Chazzy, you literally just proved my point. What happens when he doesn't score at least 35? They lose. What happens when they score more than 35? He scores more than 35. They win. It's kind of like I've said with the Edmonton Oilers that they need Draisaitl and McDavid to lead the charge and not allow so many goals against on their lines. I think with this team, again, SGA has to lead the charge. And Lane, I think you nailed it on the head with that play at around 5 minutes left in the game. Just the lack of urgency from your star player.
He looked gassed.
I don't care. Then go to the gas station. Your coach take a timeout and get him some water. I don't know. But, maybe this is the issue, too, when you know what you're built around star power versus depth, right? I mean, the Pacers seem to have a deeper bench.
Because don't you have something like 6 timeouts in the basketball game?
Oh, you have so many timeouts. It's ridiculous.
Oh, use them. That's the thing I didn't understand watching the last, half of that fourth quarter. I really didn't see KC take a timeout. And I was really surprised because using it in the basketball game, the last couple minutes is 1 second timeout, 1 second timeout, 1 second timeout. And I didn't see that this game.
No, I didn't see it either.
And his shooting, you talk about his shooting tonight, 9 for 20. That's under 50%.
Yeah.
That's ouch. 42 minutes too.
Yeah. Tough.
Oh, time will tell here, but I just wonder, will we see a landscape change?
It might.
The Pacers blow this team out.
I don't know. I think KC's going to come back. I think this is going to go 7.
I would hope so. That's that.
Really
everyone
good,
assumes that, right?
Yeah.
That's what everyone's saying will happen. Again, at the end of the day.
Originally, everyone said the Pacers would lose in 5.
That's true.
That's true at the beginning of this, yeah.
And I almost wonder, does that kind of fire you up?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I would think so. Yeah, fire me up.
Especially when you came back in game 1, like you did.
Yeah, exactly.
No, for sure.
You look at the bench points again, and I kind of just want to bring up, I really think the bench is really the big thing here.
Oh, yeah.
So you're looking at points from your bench, and actually even just looking at minutes from your bench, you have you're having guys from your bench playing actually a lot of minutes. There's only one guy who played under 15 minutes on your bench for the Pacers.
Wow.
Where we go to OKC,
but it's a lot less than that.
And you have, you got Greenwich Williams playing 2 minutes. Joe Isaiah playing 4. Aaron Wiggins only playing 10. Okay, you have Isaiah Hartenson playing 18. And Alex Caruso apparently off your bench play a lot at 32. But after that, you're seeing it's basically like you got to get it done from a certain amount of players. And there's a lot of guys who are on the bench too for OKC who put up no points.
Yeah.
Or very little, right?
That's
like Williams only played 2 minutes, but he was a -2 with no points. You look at Caruso -15 with only 8 points. And then we're going again, and maybe I'm harping on the bench way too much, but out of everyone on the bench, only 2 of them on the Pacers were minuses, and they were -4 and a -2. Then you're looking at Muntrin +16, McCollin +12, Toppin, pronouncing his name right, +18.
You are
right. Like you look at that. That is your difference in this game.
Yeah, 100%.
1,000%. So then where do the points get made up for OKC? I think they have to be made up by your star players, which is Halliburton and I guess Chet. Halliburton. Sorry, SGA and Chet Holmgren, I guess, are your 2 top guys. And you have even Jalen Williams, who put up 26 points, but he's also a -9. Right? SGA is a -3. Wallace is a -10. Chet's a +1, so that's cool, I guess. But
I thought he had a rough game
guys who are minus players, and again, it's interesting enough too. We go to OKC. Go to the Pacers. Sorry, Siakam +8, Naismith +1. Okay, Turner -8, but Nebahar +3, and Halliburton +1. So you're looking at all those guys; they're all pluses. Plus, that is a good stat.
And the good
like pluses. We don't like subtraction.
The good thing is, I don't know if you saw, but even they were talking about Miles. They were talking about Miles Turner, and that even though he had a really bad game, he had probably the worst game on the team. He made a key block with about I think it was like 2 minutes left, where when OKC was about to tie the game, or it was pretty close at the time, he made a key block and it was a clean block. So he stepped up in the biggest time to make the biggest play. And even Doris Burke said tonight, I think she's incredible. Her coverage on what she does a breakdown. Yeah. Even she's like, when you're having a bad game, you got to make a key play at a key time. It doesn't matter, if you're the worst player on the team, just got to make a key play at the key time, and that's what Miles Turner did tonight.
Wow, that's cool.
But I think it's time we wrap it up for the night. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching Streakers On Podcast at night in the morning. It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst. We started at night, we finished in the morning. Joined by Mr. Chazzy, the Thought Bubble CEO.
Yes.
Update pending. We can't wait to see 6.0 Chazzy. I'm assuming he has blonde hair or something by 6.0. I don't know. I can't wait.
Oh, it's from Sadie.
Then we also have Mr. Moore for your money. Woo! And do you recall the most dashing of them all? Lane Dashing Dashco, who's apparently a celebrity on the island now. I think paparazzi's going to start coming out to the island.
Yeah.
I have to turn my camera off.
Walk down the door behind you, buddy. We're knocking.
But remember, everyone, we will have our normally scheduled
just put the tie on like I did.
We have our normally scheduled show dropping tomorrow, actually today now, because it's after midnight. Which we have a lot to talk about. That when we'll touch a little bit on this NBA final. But obviously, if you're watching this, you don't need too much of that. But we're gonna touch that. What's been going on in the CFL. Some NHL trade rumors, some Leaf trade rumors, and funny enough, I am making everyone talk about the Buffalo Sabres because that's a team that I really want to talk about. You're going to find out why. But thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you Thursday morning. Goodbye.
Bye.